like I said, that's really common with us. Like a lot of people, as I said, they'll sign up for us with us under the $30 a month plan, and maybe have some service businesses, locksmiths, and
Right.
plumbers. And I mean, that's like our what we're founded on, really our bread and butter. And then they provide a couple tracking numbers for each one. And some of these companies, I mean, they're still with us today from when we started out. And 4 years later or something, some of them got hundreds of clients. Just started with a couple. So, and most of our average client stays with us over 3 years. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking about it because once a company starts putting their number all on all of their advertising, I mean, like how inclined are they to just be like, I don't want this anymore, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, when you say that, one thing I will point out, like if you do have a client that is, you're providing a call tracker for, if they have a number on print material or something like that, if they ever do decide to leave or anything like that, they can port the number out of our system. And we don't charge for that or anything else, so that's kind of good to know.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking at your screen, you should be able to see the call rail system. You see that? Okay.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. Okay. And here's an example of what the dashboard looks like as you do, kind of accumulate clients and set up tracking for them. So if you, as far as like a bird's eye view goes, this identifies like a smaller agency that has various campaigns set up for different clients. And as you can see here, what this is showing is each one of the clients is set up as a separate company in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So say it's like a dental client. As an example of somebody saying, okay, I set up a uptown dental client, and then they have, some print ads and that sort of thing set up for them. This is somewhat generic, but you'd be able to, of course, name it something more specific.
Right.
So when calls came in, you'd be able to identify the calls as they come in.
Absolutely.
Along with, and also use the table settings tab to, expand the information or customize the look of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I saw something. I'm not sure if it was on your site or another site I was looking at, but there was something that you could integrate with like a WordPress or something. And is that the form on there where they put their info in and it'll call them back or something? Or
okay, so there's a couple things that I'll show you. All right.
Okay.
So the first thing, like that, when I hear WordPress, is that would be first thing that comes to mind would be like setting up maybe like a number to track Google paid activity or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that would work is you would just tell the system that you want to track, online activity that's coming to your website, and then assign what's called a campaign tracker to it,
Mm-hmm.
where and then name it. You can name it with something more specific than this. But, you provide a destination number that's going to be your client's number where it's going to forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you select what you want to track. In this circumstance, we're going to say, okay, we're going to track a Google paid ad. And then you can also track specific landing pages and other things too.
So actually, I just set up an ad on Google for a client.
Yep.
I can come back here. I just used the tracking number from the trial that I just started. But what do? I take the, how do I know, like, if they didn't use the phone, if they just went to the website, can that be tracked here also?
No, they would have to place a call.
Oh, they got to play. Okay.
Something like that. That would be tracked more like that would be tracked within Google Analytics, where you'd be able to tell if somebody came to the website.
Right.
But if they came to the website and then placed a call, that's where our service comes in and helps you, you're really prove your investment on that particular call. And,
Right. Okay.
So it will appear on your dashboard.
Okay.
And then you just select the phone number. You can use any area code or local number within the U.S. or Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other And then this is kind of what I was referring to. Um, so basically what you're telling the system to do is when somebody comes to a Google paid ad and then arrives on the website, you're telling the system to swap out the normal number on the website with a tracking number for that visitor. So
right.
They're going to see a different number, and what enables that process that kind of swapping process to occur is a code that's placed in the site. But there's also a WordPress plugin, which is kind of what I'm getting to. So you would you use this plugin, the CallRails WordPress plugin. And that basically installs a JavaScript code that enables the number to swap out. The other thing, does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're placing the tracking number there anyway. So I mean, when you say swap out, what do you mean?
Yeah. So in this circumstance, right, there's going to be the regular number on the website. So say it's a plumber or something like that, and they have a phone number on there.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody comes to the website, they're going to see a tracking number and not the normal number if they come from that Google paid ad that you want to track.
Right.
That's how. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's how that would work. And then we have form tracking as well. I think you mentioned there. So
yes.
Yeah, you can. Let's see if I can. You can also track forms as well. So like when a call comes in, I'm trying to see if I have one on this demo for you. There we go. When a call comes in, what it will do, like if you enable form tracking, and a form is submitted, what you can do is set up an alert. So when a form comes in, you can have it. Any recipient you want really receive an email, a call, or a text message saying, "Hey, you just received a form was just submitted," and it gives you an immediate heads up.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that.
That, and let's see, I may have to. And you can also identify like the referring page where it came from as well, as far as the form goes.
So we're creating the form, or is this plugin or some integration creating it?
Yeah, there is a what there is. It's a selection that you enable on the within the form tracking part of the system, and then there's like different fields you can select as far as what you want people to see or fill out on the form. So you could have like name or first, last name, phone number, email, either, and you can eliminate it.
Do you have one of those that I could see?
Yeah, let me see something real quick.
I think that is like killer for these businesses. I mean, just to sell that as I don't know if you guys can do it like a standalone product or.
See if I can come up, see what I got for you.
Yeah, we're doing a presentation to like 400 business owners, and I think this, I was kind of impressed when I kind of was reading about it, and I think that I don't know too many companies that when I say, well, how's your call tracking going? They're like, what are you talking about? You're advertising on television. What are the results? What are the stats? They're like, I don't know, and that's an easy sell to me,
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of people don't. They they do, and that's nice. That's what's kind of nice about call tracking. Actually, can prove to your customers that you're actually doing something for them,
right?
And show the kind of return on investment, so to speak. So, all right, I'm going on my other screen to see what I can come up with for you for this.
Okay. Now, with even without the white label, this is still more of a centralized agency type thing where if I have bring in 5 dentists, they can still log in to their own account, individual accounts to see what's going on for their company. There's still a separation.
Yeah. Yeah, with or without the white label,
Mm-hmm.
they have the ability to do that. If with the white label, when they do log in, they're going to see, for all practical purposes, you're tracking company and not CallRail.
Right, right. I understand. Yeah.
All right. Here's kind of here's something I have on the form submission with it. CallRail. So this is from the demo site here, but the way it would work, you would just say, okay, enable form tracking, and then you can, have it like on all pages or just, specific pages, and then set up, call alerts and put a phone number in there. So that's telling it when a form comes in, it's gonna, make a quick phone call to this number that you have in there and kind of tell them that a form just got submitted.
And then they could just instantly call that prospect back while they're right there on the website. Is there a delay from the time they submit the form to the time that phone rings for my business owner?
Pretty much instantaneous.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. I could come up with I should be able to come up with like a sample form for you as well. I don't know if I have one at the right now, but I should be able to come up with one I could send off to you so you'll be able to see what it looks like.
Okay, that'll be great.
All right. You got it.
Now, is there like a average price per se for how to bill the customers that are coming in as we're setting up the tracking for them? Do you guys recommend anything, or just more or less?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, what they do is kind of build the price into a package, so to speak. So they'll, along with their other services. So like if agency or something like that, it's providing like, pay-per-click services or direct mail services, or maybe, a whole plethora of different advertising for a client. They'll include like call tracking as part of the package and just kind of lump it all together.
Okay.
I see that a lot. As far as like a specific breakdown, that's I think I have a few models that people have used, but it really kind of depends on.
Yeah, I mean, just to get an idea, if you can send me something over like that, and we can pretty much just, make it to whatever we want it to be, but just to have a starting point,
Mm-hmm. And do you know offhand, like, how many numbers each client may be using?
And that's a thing too. Like I'm really trying to figure that out, because it just really depends on how many campaigns they're going to run. Right? You'd want a separate number for if it's television, print, internet, things like that, right?
Yeah. So in general, you'd want probably one number to track each campaign. So yeah, if they have maybe a Google paid ad or a direct mail campaign or something like that. You'd probably want to use one number for each one of those. So I imagine, each one of your clients may need a couple tracking numbers.
Yeah.
So
when I was actually setting up the trial the other day, I saw it said, well, do you want 8 numbers or do you want one number to track a campaign? So each client that would come in, if they said that, hey, we want to do multiple advertising platforms, do we give them the one that has the 8 numbers and charge them per line, or is there like how does that work? Would each new company have that same capability? I'm guessing yes, to either have the 8 numbers or the 1 number, and if so, is there a different price structure for that?
Yeah, see that number, what that is, like, if you're looking at your screen here, right, I'll show you what that is.
Uh-huh.
Again, you go through this process depending on what you want to track.
Right.
And then this is probably what you're referring to. This one here, campaign tracking or source tracking, is probably the one you would want to go with. It's where you're using one number to track each campaign. Yeah, so if they had like a Google paid ad or something, you just use one number for that, another number for direct mail or something like that. The option to the left where it says track each visitor. What that is, it's called visitor level or keyword level tracking, and that uses a pool of numbers to track website activity. So in other words, you can't that number pool, they stay together. So if you were to click that, right, it gives you a number pool consisting of 8 numbers, or you can change the size of it. But basically what that's saying, or what that's showing, that's telling you that that's going to use 8 numbers to track website activity. So it's a pool of numbers that rotates on the website. It's not to use like one of those numbers to track a mailing campaign, and another one to track like email or something like that.
Okay.
So that pool of numbers stays together specifically for tracking website activity. If you want to get like more granular information and more detailed information.
Okay, so if you had like 8 different keywords, you want to know which keyword someone came in under from your website.
Basically, yeah. I mean, the way the pool is determined, the size of it doesn't have to do with keywords. It's just like the hourly traffic on the site. So, like, if you have 40 visitors per hour or so, then you'd need 10 numbers. You basically take the hourly traffic on the site and divide by 4. So to kind of recap, with doing it that way, you need a minimum of 4 numbers to track website, which is good for visitors up to about 16 visitors per hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I thought it was something else, but I don't think that's the one.
Yeah. A lot of people, honestly, when we get a lot of people when they sign up without talking to anybody, or out with our system, you can just simply sign up for a free trial and get rolling. I don't know what percentage of people do that, sign up for like the 8 numbers, thinking it's something else, but it keeps our support team pretty busy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So, but does that make sense though? The way
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Yeah. So in general, I think you'd want to stick to the campaign level tracking.
Yeah, I think so too.
Both scenarios.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. How about would your client? I forget if you told me this. Sorry. Would your clients want to record calls?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's included in our service, no additional charge. They would, if they had access to their dashboard, they could just go there and listen to calls. An arrow is going to be beside each call that comes in, and then you have these various tools to assist you as well, where you can make notes on the call and create customized tags. These are just examples, but
right.
You have all those tools at your disposal, and then have the ability to use various filtering options and by date range. And
now, if we're running some campaigns on AdWords, on Bing, on Facebook, how are we differentiating those from the one number? Is it just like a tag, an individual code or something that goes into each one?
Basically, when you set up each number, you set up a number for Facebook, and you'd you could name it something specific. First of all, whatever Facebook Charlotte plumber or something like that, or Google Charlotte plumber ad or something, and name it something specific, so it would identify on your dashboard that way. Right. And secondly, when you go through the setup process, you're simply assigning a specific. You're basically telling the system that you want to track Facebook visitors, so it would be able to identify those callers as it comes. Yeah. Okay. So, and then once you do that, you're going to have, of course, reporting options and everything else that are going to break down, how many calls you're getting for each campaign.
Right.
And you'd be able to go into your different clients, say these were different clients set up as companies, and compare and see how everything's going in there.
Now, from that right there, where I see that you have the multiple companies there that you just pulled down on the drag down. Does each of those companies have its own user login, username, password, or is this just something that's, how do we, if a client wanted to, look at it themselves?
Yeah, here we go. I'll show you. So here's, let me get to this. Here's there's two things I'll show you. Here's the user tab.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how you set up the user. So as you can see, there's a few different types, but most likely you probably use two of them. One's an account administrator, and that means any administrator on the account has the ability to have access throughout the account. You can edit anything, look at all the companies, access to the whole thing. And then the other type you probably would be client reporting user. And what that is, that's as you stated, they would only have access to specific companies that you wanted them to, and they wouldn't be able to edit or change any numbers. They'd just be able to go in, view reports, view calls, listen to calls, and everything else, and have their own unique login, but they wouldn't be able to go into other accounts.
But that's more for internal staff. I think I was. As opposed to just having a client having their own dashboard where they can just look at their.
That's what this would be. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So you would set them up as a client reporting user, and that means that particular client would only have the ability to log in and view the specific company that you set them up with.
Okay.
They wouldn't be able to look at anything else. And then also with that, you have, I'm just going to show you one other thing too, notifications. So once you have users, you can set up different types of notifications as well. So maybe you want, this person here to receive, if this is a person associated with this Grand Symphony Resort Company, William Booth. You can set it up so he can receive email notifications of all calls or just calls from first time callers. So you can do that. So when calls come in, they'll get an email in their inbox saying how many calls they've received, or that a call was received. They click on it, shows you them the information about the call. And they can also, this is pretty cool. You can set up company summary emails. So that's telling them, when every day or week or month, this person will receive a report that gives them the breakdown of how many total calls they received for the month, and what campaigns received the calls, how many to Google, how many to Facebook, that sort of thing each month automatically.
Yeah, that's valuable right there. Yeah,
it is, and if you white label it, it'll look like you're.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah. Yep. So that's a really good resource.
Yeah. And then I see text messaging up there too. Is that text messages for my staff, or the clients, whoever they're putting in charge of their marketing or whatever?
Yeah. So that you have the ability to receive and send text messages with the tracking numbers. So if say you have say a plumber or something is using a tracking number on a direct mail piece or something like that, you can enable text messaging, and that means that somebody can send a text message. They can either call or send a text message to the tracking number, and you can use the call rail system to respond back within, and then you can view the.
Is that from the website included in that form that you told me about, or is that something different?
It's something different. This is like so you can do two things. When a form is submitted, you can receive a text message telling you that hey, a form was submitted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
In addition to that, you can also let's see if they show here. Yeah, they don't show. Let's just double check. In addition to that, you also have this text. This is the text tab I was referring to. Nothing's showing here, but you can receive and send text messages via the tracking number. So if somebody sees a tracking number, they can send a text, and then you can, write something out and send something back to the text number.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. So now, when we have a client come in, let's just say he says, "Well, we want 5 different numbers. How am I charged, and then how do I charge my client? Because are we paying per number?"
Yeah, so it would depend on what package you went with, but yeah, so you'd probably fall into one of these categories where you're using the starter package or the pro.
Right.
The pro, for example, it's $130 a month. It includes 20 numbers and 2,500 minutes, and then additional numbers are charged at $250. 20 numbers are included, and then it's $250 for extra numbers.
So,
and the minutes kind of work 2,500 included.
Under the white label, and basically we can just add on, what our fee is on top of what you're charging us. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people, some people just, charge 25% more or 50% more or whatever.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm impressed. I like what I see here. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested if you could email me the form part of it. I'd definitely like to see that.
Okay.
How that works. And
all right, I'm going to make a note of that so I don't forget. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll dig that up and get that off to you. Were there any other questions I could help you out with today?
No, I pretty much got a good understanding of this. Like I said, I just started. I think it was yesterday. I did the 14-day trial. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab some customers and introduce that to them over the next week or two, and hopefully I can jump straight into. Well, I know I will jump straight into the the pro package there.
Correct.
And from that pro pack, what's the difference between the other one? What more? What was it? An elite package there, or whatever the next one was?
Yeah. Well, the way the structure works. There's a starter, then the pro. The pro package has a pretty broad range, anywhere from like 20 numbers or so up to about 150 numbers.
Okay.
And then beyond that, you're talking elite package, which is usually for use about 200 numbers or greater. I can email you the details of how that works, but basically it's a flat fee, and then there's just a la carte cost for low cost for numbers and minutes, and everything's included with the white label as well with that package.
Okay. Now, as far as the texting, is there a short code with that you get for those texts, and also is that just through your system, and we don't have to worry about short codes?
Yeah, it's just through our system.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm definitely interested in this, and I can see a lot of different, I can see a lot of value that I can present to our clients. So, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
this is cool. Yeah, this is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and I'll put that information together and get it on off to you, Gozer. If if you need anything, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Okay, that's great. Now tell me this because I know a company, and I think they may be white labeling through you guys too. They're on Facebook. What they could go by like Job Killing or something like that. Uh, Dan Klein or Brad Campbell. You know those guys?
I don't know off the top. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
No, I just wondered if
We
maybe they were like one of your clients because I mean they're pretty big in what they do, so you would have known if they were one of your guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. It doesn't ring a bell with me.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
That's cool. All right, Chris, I'm happy with what I've seen, and definitely I look forward to receiving the rest of that information from you, and look forward to doing some business with you guys.
all right. Hey, I appreciate your time today.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.